Welcome to the Perlo podcast. We talk construction, its people, its challenges, its opportunities.
One of the unique things that we've done in this is that we've maintained the general office area for that and then adding a mezzanine up above that to amplify their office space. They're needing quite a bit more office space in there. They're also taking what was an existing just really kind of warehousing area for the previous tenant in there and changing those into their processing rooms and adding a lot of process piping. And with a lot of the mechanical units and stuff that they're doing, there's not enough space up on the roof for that. So we've got a couple of concrete pads on the outside for that. And then there's also a mezzanine that we have in the warehouse area that's also going to maintain and hold some of those mechanical units.
Oh, okay.
Which is awesome, especially building in the winter, since this job's been about a 6-month job through the winter, so we don't have to mess with any structural stuff on the roof. It's all been independent mezzanine in the warehouse, which is awesome.
And one of the insulation, one of the things that this tenant needs is a certain insulation value in this processing area of the building, which only had a certain insulation value from the roof and a little bit of the bad insulation that was in there. So we had to look up front on what we were going to do for options there. One was to re-roof the entire building to get a higher insulation value or add more insulation to the underside of the roof. Knowing lead material times, knowing the timing of the job in the winter time, it didn't seem feasible to do that. A new roof would be great, but they'd have to re-roof the entire building just to get that R value just for a certain area in there. So we've been working through that. A lot of combination of trades in there. Getting the mezzanine in was a little bit tricky because of the existing office space. We only had certain sized openings that we could get materials in through.
It's a steel structure?
Yeah. Yep, so we cut open the slab all around, added footings, and added, steel mezzanine, 12 feet tall. So.
And was the space unoccupied for all of this work?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Good. Yeah, that makes coordination a little easier,
a
huh?
lot easier, yeah.
Yeah, I think that the previous tenant in there, due to COVID-19, their work was just so downsized on stuff that they just didn't see the existence of their business in maintaining this facility. So it kind of opened this up for True Terpenes to come in, which was great. Not sure fully why they've picked the Hillsboro area to move into. I think they're in Swan Island right now, but I do know there's a UPS facility right down the street that's helping probably some of their logistics and getting stuff out into their markets that they fill in.
Yeah, maybe a little easier access to freeways and workforce and that kind of thing too. Yeah. And so this was a negotiated project, correct? They came to us and asked us to build this for them?
It was a unique position. I know that in a prior podcast we had talked about negotiated versus hard bid. And Todd Dewey and that had kind of brought in this architect and this client, kind of meshed them together, brought them to us. And our estimating team had started working on just general budgets based off of the initial plans that they had. And I think that we went through about 4 rounds of budgeting on that before we got to a place where it was like, all right, these plans are good enough for us to bid off of. And kind of getting into that hard bid mode of, okay, we're comfortable with that. There's still some unique things that we ran into once we got into the building that weren't evident on the drawings. They were just existing conditions that we've had to manage and deal with. But the client's been great to work with and just following our path on which is the best route to remedying those situations and making this the right product for them.
That's awesome. And so what was the duration of your pre-construction period?
Our estimating team probably spent 2.5 months or so prior to us actually really bidding this out with subcontractors bidding on it. And duration of job, we started in November, middle of November or so. And we're shooting to have this thing done, at least this processing area and everything ready for them middle part of April so that they can start moving the equipment in.
Awesome. Visit us online at perlo.biz, subscribe to catch our future episodes, and join us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube to discuss all things construction. And finally, work hard, do what's right, and make it fun.